Ever have those dreams that just stick with you? You know, the
Wow.
really vivid ones, especially the ones with people we've lost.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What if I told you those dreams could be more than just random firings in our brains?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
What if they're actually messages, like real attempts to connect with us from beyond?
Whoa. Okay, so where are we going with this?
We're diving deep into a text all about dream interpretation and self-improvement. It suggests those dreams about deceased loved ones could have huge implications for our lives right now.
Well, dreams have fascinated people for centuries. Across cultures, they've been seen as a window to the subconscious.
Exactly. And this source claims these particular dreams aren't just us missing someone, they're directly tied to our current situation, almost like they're checking in on us.
It's pretty interesting, but is there any, like, scientific proof for that?
Well, not exactly hard science, but the source leans on the idea that many cultures and psychological schools of thought see dreams as a way to understand our inner selves.
Makes sense. So much of who we are is hidden beneath the surface. Dreams could be a way for that to bubble up.
Right, and there's some pretty specific examples in here. Like, imagine you're dreaming about someone you've lost, but you can't hear their voice.
Hmm, never thought about that.
The source suggests that could mean we're ignoring our own intuition, like shutting down our inner voice in our waking lives.
That's a little spooky, but also kind of makes sense. Like maybe it's our subconscious trying to get our attention.
Totally. Like, hello, wake up call. Though I gotta say, the source gets a little dramatic sometimes.
How so?
Like it's practically shouting, the universe is trying to tell you something.
Haha, a little over the top, maybe.
Eh,
But I guess that shows how powerful these dreams can be.
yeah.
They hit us on a deep emotional level.
For sure. And then there's the whole symbolism thing. Like, say you dream about a familiar room.
Oh yeah, symbolism. Classic dream interpretation territory.
This source says that could represent clinging to the past, while a new, unfamiliar place might mean you're ready for growth.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty common, I think.
Eh.
Dreams rarely give us straightforward messages. It's all about decoding those symbols.
Right, like our brain is speaking in metaphors,
Hmm.
which makes this next part even more interesting. It matters how the deceased person is acting in the dream.
Oh, so are they talking silent, leading you somewhere?
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to communicate through their actions. And that's where it gets really psychological.
So.
Think about it. If we're having unresolved issues with the deceased, maybe some guilt or anger we never dealt with.
Our dreams could be our subconscious working through those feelings, huh?
Exactly. So it's like a multi-layered message. We're getting clues from the setting, the emotions, and how the deceased person is behaving.
It's like a detective story playing out in our sleep.
Right. And the source actually gives us a sort of action plan for making sense of these dreams.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, accept that they're meaningful. Don't just write them off as random nonsense.
Makes sense. Got to be open to the possibility there's something there.
Then, take a look at what's happening in your life right now. Is there a connection to the dream?
Oh, I like that. Connecting the dream to our waking reality.
Yep. And lastly, look for recurring themes. If the same person, place, or feeling keeps popping up, there's probably a message trying to break through.
Like your subconscious is saying, hello, I'm trying to tell you something important here.
Exactly. And you know, all this dream interpretation stuff can feel pretty intense, but to help us process it all, the source suggests keeping a dream journal.
Yeah, writing those dreams down can be so helpful. It allows us to spot those recurring patterns and really dive deeper into the symbolism.
Absolutely. And for those who find these dreams super emotional, the source reminds us that therapy can be a great resource too.
A safe space to unpack those feelings and explore what the dreams might be telling us.
Totally. So, we've covered a lot of ground here. Dreams of deceased loved ones, possible messages, symbolism, and even some steps for interpretation.
It's been a wild ride so far, but I have a feeling things are about to get even more interesting. It's like we're learning a secret language, right? The language of dreams.
Totally. But remember, it's not just about understanding the dream. It's about how we apply those messages to our lives. How do we use that knowledge?
Right. It's got to be actionable. Like, what's the point of decoding a message if we don't do anything with it?
Exactly. And this source takes things a step further. It suggests those dreams aren't just about the deceased person themselves. It's about their energy somehow transforming and connecting with us on a deeper level.
Okay, now we're getting into some spiritual territory. Is that like a common belief?
It seems to be a recurring theme in a lot of spiritual traditions. The idea that consciousness or energy might exist beyond our physical bodies.
I mean, it's not something you can prove scientifically, but it's definitely a thought-provoking idea.
Right. Makes you wonder what else is out there. And the source goes on to say, because the deceased are no longer bound by the physical world, they might be able to see things from a different perspective.
So like a bigger picture view, unconstrained by time and space.
Exactly. And maybe even offer insights about our own paths or struggles. Like, hey, I see you down there, and here's something you might want to consider.
Whoa. Okay, now that's where it gets a little spooky for me.
I know, right? Like they're trying to guide us somehow, but the message isn't always clear. It's often wrapped in symbolism, hidden in the setting, the emotions, even their clothes or actions.
The symbolism again. Always with the symbols. I guess that makes sense, though, if they can't just, like, straight up tell us what's what.
They gotta get creative. Use the dream world to communicate in a way we'll hopefully understand. And the source actually suggests doing some research on dream symbols. There are tons of books and websites out there to help us decode those messages.
That's a good tip. Got to have the right tools for the job.
Right. But here's the thing, sometimes those dreams reveal stuff we're trying to avoid. Maybe negative emotions, past regrets, or even truths about ourselves that we're scared to face.
Oof. Yeah, dreams can definitely be confronting. Not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes they force us to look in the mirror and face the harder parts of ourselves.
Totally. Like, hey, remember that thing you buried deep down? Time to deal with it. But here's where things get really wild. The source suggests these dreams could even be preparing us for the future.
Wait, what? Like seeing into the future kind of thing?
Yep. Like showing us possibilities or paths we haven't even considered yet.
Okay, now that's just mind-blowing. Whether or not we believe in, like, actual precognition.
It does make you think, maybe there's more to this than I realize. And maybe it's not even about literal predictions. Maybe it's about opening our minds to new possibilities, breaking free from our past limitations.
Yeah, like our loved ones are saying, hey, don't box yourself in. There's so much more out there for you.
Exactly. But here's the warning the source says. Ignoring these dreams is like hitting the snooze button on our own evolution. Like we're getting this valuable feedback, but choosing to sleep through it.
Oof, tough love. But it makes sense. Whether the message is coming from our dreams or intuition, or even the people around us, if we keep ignoring it.
We stay stuck, we don't grow, and we miss out on all that potential.
Right. It's like we're given a map, but we refuse to look at it.
Oh, okay, so we've talked about the messages, the symbolism, the future stuff, but how do we actually make sense of it all? How do we start interpreting these dreams?
Right. We need some practical steps. Give me the cheat sheet.
Well, the source gives us a few steps. The first one is acceptance. Don't just dismiss those dreams as random nonsense. Take a moment to acknowledge them, sit with them.
Yeah, got to be open to the possibility there's something there. Don't just brush it off.
Exactly. Next step, reflect on what's going on in your life right now. Is there anything that seems connected to the dream? Any situation, decision, or even a feeling?
Ah, that's where a dream journal comes in handy.
Yeah,
Write it all down and then see if any connections pop up.
totally. And lastly, look for those recurring themes. If the same person, place, or feeling keeps showing up, there's probably a message trying to break through, like your subconscious is trying to get your attention.
Like, hey, pay attention to this. It's important.
Exactly. So we've accepted the dream, reflected on our lives, and spotted some recurring themes. What's next?
Time to take action, right? Like, figure out what the dream is asking of us and actually do something about it.
Yep. It's not enough to just acknowledge the dream. We got to do something with that knowledge. And the source gets pretty intense here. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, those deceased loved ones appearing in our dreams are trying to help us unlock the next level of our lives.
Whoa. That's both exciting and a little scary. Like, are we ready for that? Are we ready to step into that next level?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it ties into this idea that maybe those loved ones, now free from the limitations of the physical world, can see our potential in a way we can't.
It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
Like, even after they're gone, they're still there for us, cheering us on, wanting us to grow and evolve.
I know, right? Gives me chills just thinking about it. Okay, are you ready for the grand finale? This is where things get really deep. The source throws out this huge question. What if this dream is the key to unlocking the next phase of your life? Like maybe our loved ones see something in us, some potential we haven't even tapped into yet.
It's like a challenge almost, pushing us to think bigger, to reach for something more. And maybe they have a clearer perspective, not being bound by the physical world and all.
So are we brave enough to face those uncomfortable truths and really step into that potential? Because according to the source, that's what these dreams are all about, our growth, our healing, our evolution.
It could be that these dreams are like catalysts. They shake things up, make us examine our beliefs and behaviors.
And maybe even confront those deep down desires we've been ignoring.
Exactly. It's a reminder that life is all about change. And maybe these dreams are, like, guiding us along the way.
The message here is loud and clear, right? Don't dismiss these dreams. Don't ignore them. Give them space. Think about them. And most importantly, ask yourself, what is this dream asking of me?
And those answers, they might not come easy.
Or right away.
Right. But with some patience, with an open mind.
The clarity will come through.
Exactly. And that's when we realize the dream wasn't just a dream, it was a gift.
A gift from the universe, from the person we loved, from the part of ourselves that's ready for more. I love that. So what will you do with that gift? Will you ignore it or will you embrace it?
Big choice. Because those dreams, they're like doorways. And the question is, are you ready to walk through?
Mind blown. And on that note, we want to hear from you. Have you ever had a dream about someone who's passed on? What did it mean to you? Share your experiences with us over on social media. Let's create a space where we can all explore these dreams together. And maybe, just maybe, uncover some of those hidden messages waiting for us.